Hey, what is up mate? Welcome to this video. My name is Theodore and I'm here today to give you the blueprint to dual type melodies. Let's get straight into this right after the video. Let's go! So guys, here I am again at the same session and we have loaded up a melody, which I'm going to call keys for now. So we're going to talk about instrumentation for a while and then I'm going to get into the melody. So I'm using Creepy Piano. You can download it for free. I will have also a link in the description for that, and you can use too many presets here. Let's change this. You can go even with this, but I'm going to leave the initial preset like this. Okay, so this is more about instrumentation, and too many times why we pick those instruments up, because the more nightmarish dual type beats have come into play, also the more sad type beats are into play. So this means piano, strings, creepy things like this, depending on the vibe you want to create. So if you want to create a sad type beat, a piano would work for you really well. Also, the strings section would work for you really well. A violin or some viola or the violoncello or something like that. So you can use, depending on what you want to create, the instrumentation plays a huge role on this. So also, of course, depending on the melody, this changes. And too many times when you create a melody like this, even when you're using the grand piano that I'm going to load up here, Of course, I'm not going to use it full range because it's going to clash with my 808. So you see, somehow creepy still with another instrument. Okay, so of course the melody that you play has to play a huge role here, and I wanted to make a more nightmarish drill type beat here. That's why I went with this melody. So let's get into melodies now. I'm going to talk about instrumentation more in the next video. I want to talk about more melodies here and how you can start getting into melodies, how you can understand them a little more better, because I know that music theory can be somehow difficult for some producers and too many people don't want to learn music theory. I won't suggest you at all go learn music theory right after this video, literally. But if you are having a trouble, this is the first touch for you with drill type melodies. Stick with me because this is very important. Now, let's explain only two things about the music theory, and then I'm going to leave you alone, okay? And then you're going to be able to create your melodies. So the only two things I'm going to say here about the music theory is that in music we have two basic distances between two notes, okay, two basic intervals, the half step and the full step. So we have 1 and 2, D and D slash. In between them there isn't any note, so this means this is the half step. Then we have D slash and F. In between them they have another note, so this means this is a full step. Now in general, as you can notice, between white and black keys there are only half steps, with an exception here between E and F, which is already a half step because there isn't any other note between them, and here between B and C, again this is a half step. The full step can be between A and B, between A slash and C. Two notes make us a full step. When you play with sad melodies or with creepy melodies, all those melodies are maybe in the same category, because they create these emotions that they resemble. So we have, yeah, I could easily say here that we have the major and the minor scales, but I don't want to confuse you with this. So these sentiments, these emotions seem to are alike. And what these melodies have in common is that they are using mostly half steps. Okay. Okay, again, another half step here, another half step here, another half step here. Okay, full of half steps. Okay, and it doesn't matter if it is the same half step. It's that we hear this all the time, and it leaves you with a melancholic or a creepy emotion, more, I would say, about this melody. So the first element that will give, that will make your melody sad and more full drill type beats is this, using more half steps rather than full steps. Now after this is how are you behaving to the melody. So this means how are you scaling up or downwards. So I won't say about the distances here so much, because this has to do with more with what sounds in key or out of key, and I got you covered about this. Don't worry at all, because I'm going to give you access also to this clip. I'm going to have it exported on the description, so that you will be able to use this scale using upwards and downwards. You can use all the other scales and sound in key exactly by playing all those notes. Now after you have this blueprint for you to play your notes, now you're going to want to play with going upwards and downwards. Okay, upwards and downwards, upwards and downwards. And the thing which is going to make more sad your melody, more creepy your melody, is leave your listener with a descending melody at the end of your loop. So this means this. Okay, or I would say on this instrument, this. Because if you would have this going upwards, okay, it sounds way more happier, and we don't want this. So it's basically how you're behaving to your melody. Okay, it's this thing exactly. And as you can notice, another thing is that here we are going upwards and downwards. We're going upwards and downwards. So we are not leaving our listener with going upwards all the time, because we want to leave the downward sentiment to your listener, because this is a more sad, this is a more nightmarish, this is a more creepy melody. So that's what these types of melodies do. Now, these are the two most important fundamental things you're going to want to have to your drill type beats, or if you're making in general any sad or melancholic or creepy beat, this is what you needed to know. Okay, I'm not going to talk about scales, I'm not going to talk about how you're going to be able to fit this note with that. I'm going to give you only a bonus gem here, that every note has something which is called perfect resolve, and these are the notes which are 7 semitones away. What's the semitone? The semitone is the distance between this note and this note. So this means a half step. So if you count 7 half steps, let's start from C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So these two are resolving together. Okay, these two are resolving together. Now if you start from the fifth, this is the fifth, okay, and this is the first, because I'm starting from this note. So if you start from this, okay, they're resolving together, but you have them inverted. You don't have them like, like this. You could have them also like this, but you're starting like this, and you can maybe even do another variation here in your, have something like chords here and go even more Yeah, you can go even more higher. And then start to do to go to more complex things. Okay, this sounds more diverse. Oh, you can even delete this. And you can play with those, with those two, resolving between them. But if you can't quite understand this last thing, it's more for an advanced type melodies. Just stick with this. You'll have the exported MIDI clip. You'll be perfectly fine. So this is all you needed to know about drill type melodies. I hope you were really helped by this video now that you know how to create your own melodies. So if you want to learn more about music producing, about mixing and mastering, about how you can make it as a producer in 2022, because too many people struggle with this, I'm here to help you out. You can follow me on social media here in order for you to be able to check out content that has to do even with entrepreneurship. And if you want to learn more about entrepreneurship when it comes to producers, I'll have also a link, which is actually the guide I followed in order to make consistent income through my passion. And finally, I didn't forget about, of course, your gift, your MIDI clips exported in the description again. So let me know in the comments how you were helped. Give a big smile to yourself, and I'll be more than glad to engage with you personally on social media. Bye.